is the Levels Podcast. I am Justin Horo, joined as always by a very happy Triple OG, Willie Mason, with the New South Wales 13 plus jumper on. Shout out to Tom and Eddie from Hello Sports, All Talk. You filmed the episode yesterday before the big game. What an omen.
I know, right? I said, give me that shirt. I said, we're going to get him 13 plus. I've been back in New South Wales 13 plus the whole two games. I've been embarrassed and it just sucks. Now I can wear it with pride. We got 13 plus last night. Well done to the boys. But yeah, shout out to Tom and Eddie, mate. They're great people. We had a good chat there yesterday. It was
the boys have been chasing you for a minute.
They've been chasing me for ages, and I'm like, and I don't do that many podcasts. I love this podcast. So this is the one that we usually do, and like I don't really want to go out to every other podcast and give them content and all that kind of stuff. But those guys are good guys, and they're not there for clickbait and little fucking things that they put out. And I do get offered a shitload of podcasts.
I can imagine.
And I don't. I know what they're about. They just want to get me on and just fucking and just little clickbait here.
Well, you got so many good stories.
Exactly, you know what I mean? But it's not for my benefit, right? They'll make me look like a fucking idiot. No, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? They'll just put out little bits. I'm like, but the Hello Sports boys they're great. They're great guys.
Yeah, the legends. We obviously did the stream together.
Yeah.
I've become really close with them over the last couple of years. I've obviously vouched for them a couple of times with you. I said, just go in and have a chat with the boys.
Good, mate.
How long did you go for? Because they can talk for
two and a half hours. I went in there and we just sat down, right?
Yeah.
And we just started talking like this, right?
Yep.
And it was just it just started.
Yeah, you didn't know
I didn't know.
that they were rolling. They sit you down in the seat.
We just sat down. I just sat down and we were like, yeah, what's going on? And blah, blah, blah. Then it was just two hours later. So
any rosé, any Patron?
No, nothing. It was early start.
Okay.
It was early.
It doesn't normally matter for those boys.
And I got an Uber there as well.
How good.
No, they were good. It was good chat. It was just like through footy. We just spoke about Origin and coaching, and then a little bit of my upbringing and my career and all that kind of just anywhere the conversation went. It was good. I was pretty open with a lot of things, and it should be a good potty.
Awesome. That'll probably drop in a couple of weeks. For those people that know Tom and Eddie, Hello Sports, All Talk for SEN.
Yeah. We're going to collab with them again. They want to do, I think it's the Roosters Eagles maybe on a Friday. It's in August sometime. I don't know. They'll reach out to us.
Okay, no.
Be a good game.
Because I know the reason I know about that game and I won't be able to do it is I was supposed to call that game. Yeah, we'll do another game a little bit later on, but I'm off to Queenstown for that weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But you're allowed. Yeah, you should go to Queenstown.
Yeah, I'll go to Queenstown first. Sorry, boys. But
Sorry.
We'll organise another one. I think when I seen Eddie at Adelaide after they'd won and he was trying to rip my jersey off.
He's the best.
How good is Eddie?
Best. I love Eddie. Tom's good. They're two of the best podcasters in the game, I reckon.
They're doing a great job. I'll tell you who else is doing a great job. Us, Mace.
Yeah.
Us at Levels Network. Right. And we just dropped an episode of Gimme Pa, the Cowboys boys. Go on, have a check. It's on our Levels Network. While you're there, make sure you like and subscribe. I teamed up with Drinky. We played Val and Morgs. It was hot, wasn't it? It was hot. It was 30 degrees. I was hungover as all.
That was a fucking tough carry.
Oh,
and you done it.
Yeah, and you had a tough carry in the clubhouse as well.
I had a waiting for us. Just wait, sitting there drinking with a bunch of 60-year-olds. Like I can find a gang.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that's one of my favourite parts of golf is when you get, just say for instance, I play competition most Wednesday mornings, and then if I play on Fridays, just sitting there with a pairing that you might not know. So when you go through, you put down, there's like a list that comes out, at the start every week. So you put down, I just go play solo. I don't even get any, and when I go down, I want to play early in the morning, generally like 7 to 8, and then you get a free drinks voucher with every time you go and play at the Coast. Shout out to the Coast, where I'm a member at. And then sometimes I just sit and have a schooner with someone and just talk about life and a stranger, someone you've never met before. And a lot of the times, especially in our area, people were rugby league fans, so
they always want
to talk some footy.
Because when I come in, I was like, obviously I wasn't going to play golf, but I got in there and I was like, fucking dusty as hell. And these, I think they're in their 40s or 50s.
Yep.
They were smashing schooners. So I'm like, do you want a beer? So I bought them all a beer. So I sat down with them and just started, probably had about 5 or 6, but took the edge off. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how Hoz is playing in this heat.
Oh, it's tough carry. The first couple of holes, shout out to my partner Drinky, Scott Drinkwater, who was a part of the New South Wales makeup last night, which we'll get to. We played Val and Morgs, go on there and see who gets the win. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe. Go on our Instagram channel, and we've got a new golf page on Instagram, Gimme Par. We're going to be sharing all the content on there. We're working towards a golf day. That's a big goal and target of mine. We're trying to build levels up from the ground up like we have been, and it's going really well. I love the way where we're positioned right now. I really want to have the best golf day of all time. I want representation.
And I'll be all right because TaylorMade have reached out and they're going to make me some gloves.
Okay.
No, clubs.
Clubs.
Like, suit them out for me. And the glove. I'll have the glove as well.
And an OJ.
Yeah, and the OJ. So they're going to fit out gloves, fucking clubs for me. So I might be able to hit them better.
All right, awesome. I think they just, I think Trell Mitt just got some TaylorMades too. He's been posting
I saw him the other day, man. Looks fit.
Yeah,
looks fit.
Right. Yeah, I see him at the coast a fair bit as well. He's enjoying his golf. So shout out to TaylorMade, looking after OG and potentially sponsoring Gimme Par.
I think so.
So make sure, go on there, follow all of us, and like, subscribe. Also, Apple, Spotify reviews, 5 stars, all that stuff still helps.
Yeah.
So let's get into the show. Favorite YouTube questions is the way we start for all you new subscribers. But we're also going to talk about Origin 3, a little bit different this week, Mace. We're going to break down both teams. So last time when we did the reaction show in Townsville, we did key moments. I want to go through 1 to 17, just maybe a couple of minutes on each, because I think it's really important specifically with the New South Wales players, and we can give some constructive criticism to the Queensland team as well. Just a shortened show today because we're coming. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. We're filming 7 o'clock in the morning. Mace was out doing some a gig last night, and I was calling the game, and then we'll do a proper breakdown again of it probably next week once it's all set in.
Exactly. And we need to watch it on TV as well. It's different. It's a different vibe at the game. It was great, but once we sit down, and I didn't have time. I usually would go home and I'd watch it, but we didn't get home till 11:30.
Well, yeah,
I didn't leave traffic out and just like
I didn't leave the stadium till 11. Didn't get home till 12:30.
So
getting up nice and early for the
straight
punters.
on the bed, and then bang, alarm went off.
All right, I'll tell you, getting into the YouTube questions, I think a punter wants to give me, the opposite of my flowers.
What are you trying to give it to you?
He goes, just here to observe Horo, turncoat, scopes, Queensland 13 plus take after a dominant performance by the better state. As a state, we are willing to forgive your past indiscretions of following a state represented by the magenta colour scale and captained by the one of who we do not speak, the Dark Lord himself, Lord Voldemort, or better known as the man with 3 necks, DCE. That's all time. Shout out to Dynamite for that. Not a question, but just a statement.
Was he just having a crack at you or what?
Just having a proper crack at me, mate, DCE. Love it.
What's your rebuttal?
Well, there's nothing. You got to take your licks, mate.
Yeah, but is that just him just going, you're a
he just wants to have a crack. There's no question in there.
But you're Queensland all the way, aren't you?
No, well, when I was a kid, I sort of grew up in New South Wales.
But now you got mates in Queensland. You go for Queensland.
Well, you were playing for New South Wales, so I went for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you retired.
Well, that's how most people go now.
Yeah, just go for wherever my mate's playing. DCE's playing there, Munster's playing there. So, I just thought that was a giggle, so I thought I'd
Lord
chuck
Voldemort.
Shout out Dynamite.
3 necks.
154. Next one. This is a question. This is away from Origin, Mace. Question for the potty. What's the most intense fitness session you've ever had, or maybe pre-season, and how'd you feel after it?
Ooh. I've had some very, very intense sessions. I'll go back to when we were playing. We used to do this thing called it was the Nile, right? So you rode for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes, 3, 2, 1. But it was like if you can row, like you did about 380 on the minute.
Yep.
And then minute rest, and then so all the good rowers. And then the 2 minutes you do nearly...
One sec. So you're 380, but was everyone else 380? Because that's a lot of...
No.
Yep. So whatever your PBs or whatever your max
go
were.
Close. So it was usually around about 380, 390 for that 1 minute. 2 minutes is nearly like 720. Yep. And then like nearly 1,000 for 3 minutes. And then 1,000 again and 3, and then 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. So it's all on a minute break too. You don't get any rest. It was fucking awful. That, and just like when you proper max out, I think I did mainly it's all the roll. The roll is just a full body workout, right? Yep. So I think in a minute I did just like max, and usually if you get it under 110, so I had it under 110 for about 10 seconds. I got about 107, 108. Anyone who knows rowing on the ergo knows it's fucking solid. People had to stand on it.
Yep.
I think I got like maybe 400 and it was over 400 meters, like 420 or something like that on the minute. And I fucking just fell off. It was just a whole body. Like you're done. Like for about 20 minutes. Like you just maxed out like for the full on minute, because I only did it because fucking a young kid got on there and he fucking nearly got me. He goes, "Oh, mate's beat him." And I'm like, fuck. And then I had to max out and smash him. Mate, Marty Kennedy. Big Marty.
I was going to say who got it, because
Marty Kennedy,
those are ridiculous times.
Sonny Bill and I used to go at it all the time on the rail. Just fuck, because we're both big, long, strong, sort of just fucking leverage, all that kind of stuff. So guys like that. But guys who are like 6'5", long levers and can got a bit of endurance, always go good on them. Then you look at guys like Adam Perry and Brent Sherwin. Like fucking the worst rollers of all time.
Yeah, I remember when I was coming through at the Roosters, we used to do a lot of roller. Ronnie Palmer, shout out to Ronnie Palmer. It was a part of our extra fitness sessions that we used to do. And David Shillington was a weapon.
Yeah, so he's big, strong.
6'4", 6'5", 115 kilos. I think he used to be in the 400s, and everyone else was sort of trying to chase him.
So and that plus running. I reckon some of the running sessions that we used to do were just disgusting. Folksy was massively into triathlons.
Yep.
So like we'd this called Waterfall down near Helensburgh or something like that, and it was like these fucking hills. It was just like 50, 60 kilometres. Like it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And then like we'd swim, run, all this kind of stuff. Like it was a heap of triathlons. One time we did 10 laps of Centennial. So it's about 4.6 kilometres a lap.
Yep. Centennial Park. I think it's just under 4.
Is it under 4?
Yeah, it's just under 4. So I've been running at heaps.
10. And then
you can go different ways to extend it. So maybe
the full lap is like, I think it's about 4.2-ish.
No, it's about 3. I think it's just under 4. So I think it's about 3.8.
Right, so 10 laps.
Yep.
Run 1.
Yep.
So imagine your legs after that. 10 laps. Run 1.
Yeah.
It was awful. Shit like that. We're off your legs, but you're on your legs. It was just like, it just used to blow you out like massively. And then we used to do like full Malcolms. So post like coat hangers, we do 4 coat hangers. And like we used to do them in like, the backs had to do them in 36. We would do them in 38, the forwards.
Yeah.
You do 4 and then you do a full Malcolm.
Yeah.
And then you full Malcolm, 4 times 4. And then that was like, then ball work in between all those. Yeah. And then do it again. Like it was just it was a mind fuck when you were at the Dogs. That's where we used to just train hard, play hard, party hard, all that sort of shit. Blokes would be like, and this would be off a fucking bit of a Larry.
Well, at that time as well,
yeah. Scotty Campbell was the main guy when we were in our peak, but like, mate, blokes would be coming straight from the fucking cross, coming in, just shut the fuck up, just do the fitness. And if you did, like you say, if we had the bye, we'd do something like that. There's never, you're getting a week off now. You just, because they deserve the week off.
Yeah.
But back then, they just didn't give a shit. You come in and get fucking absolutely towed up. Yeah. Blokes would be on the piss. You could smell it. Reeking of piss, like about 10 of us. But we just shut up and probably more. And just get the job done.
Yeah.
No one would say anything. You could just say, because if you weren't on the piss, and just say if you were, you'd be like, you better win every fucking thing.
That's what OGs did. They prided themselves on work hard. I remember when Jimmy Dimmick was our under-20s coach, and that'll flow into my story. I got to do pre-season with the NRL, and we could only do Tuesdays and Thursdays leading into pre-season for experience. And we used to basically run scrimmage against them in training sessions. But I love running now. Back in those days, not as much. And when you're a kid, and it set me up so well. So I remember 5 weeks out from Christmas break, we started off 1000s. So you'd have 3 groups. It'd be the edge back rowers, maybe centers together. They would be in one group. The halves, the spine would be in another group. And then the outside backs, wingers, whatever. There'd be 3 groups. And we'd start off with 1000s and worked our way up to the very last week doing 5000s. And again, like you're saying, Mace, that was just a warm up for the training session. Yeah. So we'd, as a kid, I was, 19 years old. By the time we got to 5000s by the last week of training session, and by the way, you'd know Sticky. Oh, did Sticky coach you?
Yeah,
no, you had Freddie.
For national
yeah,
team.
well, at Sticky, this is at club level. We always warmed up with a 4 and 5.
4 and 5. That was the basic warm up.
That was Ronnie Palmer's go-to.
And then finish with it.
Yep. And then if you didn't make it, we always did 2 no matter what, because Big Georgie Rose.
Yeah, there's always Matty Utai did. I think Matt Utai, his best is 7 minutes.
Yeah, he'd never make a 4 and 5.
But the best winger. So we'd just be like, fuck it. Just score tries for us, please, mate.
And you just know that you're going to run 2 no matter what, right? So and then after that, then we train. So I remember that as a kid, those sessions at the time, I'm like, it nearly broke me after 2 or 3 weeks.
They try and break you. Like when you're coming through, they want to break you.
Yeah.
They want to break you so they can sort out all the shit. And then by the time you get to first grade, mate, we were fucking fit as hell. When we come through, when I was 17, 18, 19, we had a trainer called Gary Carden. He fucked everyone up. It was non-stop. So we should train harder than first grade. Obviously, we had to cram everything in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got to the NRL, it wasn't that hard because you spread it all over the whole day.
100%.
And like, so we were all like, kiddies. Yeah, it wasn't because we used to get hammered that hard, and it was a mental fuck, right? It was just like trying to break. We're trying to get rid of everyone. Like Rocky Elsom, right? We got Rocky Elsom in '99, so he's ended up being
Wallaby great.
He come to the Dogs and he quit. They told him he quit on. We were just getting smashed, and he's on the ground. And he didn't get up. We're just doing up, downs, up, downs, up, downs after about an hour and a half of floggings, and he just didn't get up.
Yeah.
And then
I've seen that before.
Then Gaz Carden goes, just get up and fuck off.
Yeah, hand in
like
your
just you're not cut for it. And then he goes over, plays for the Wallabies and captains them.
It's like the SAS when you hand in your number.
Yeah, that's what it was. Get up, up, down.
It serves you well, doesn't it?
Just break, mate. Because he was responsible for just say there was 17 of us in the grand final, obviously. 12 of us come through his system. 12. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of players that just couldn't get through. His job was, and Folksy, this is how folks used to pick us young kids. It's like, is he ready? No, he's not ready. Give him another year. No, he needs another preseason. Then like he'd go bang. Folks wouldn't even fucking watch your games. He'd just go off Gary Carden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
that's
the Sonny,
what's he doing now? Is he still in and around the game?
Gaz is getting a bit old, man.
Older now?
Yeah, he's had a knee op. He's a bit busted at the moment, but
is he still around the club? Do you still?
No, I see him a little bit, but he's not around the club. Okay. He just can't. I think he had the Harold Mats last year and nearly killed a couple of kids. I said, Gaz, you can't do that to these young kids, mate. Fuck them.
Yeah, I love there's still a place for the old school.
There is, and I think he should be around about like 17, 18 when I was down there, and they just because you can really break a human there, break a young kid, or you can make him.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of these kids are coming through. They're not getting tested at a young age, so they think you just keep going up and up and up, and by the time they get to first grade, they get fucking pumped.
Or even if you do break them, you go away, you learn a lesson, you go somewhere else, and then you're better for the run the next time someone else gets in front of you.
But there's a test, right? You got to go, if you don't pass this shit, if you can't get through me, how are you going to get in first grade?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and also as a teammate, you look down and go,
but there's no real person like that. You know, and I think every club needs that. And there's always a spot for a Gary Carden.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's at that age, at like 17, 18, 19, that's when that's the hardest part of your career. Because that's when you set up a lot of the habits and all that kind of stuff, you know, like all your fundamentals, all should be done from 12 to 15, 16, and then like 17 to 19, that's when you're fucking here. You need to be strong.
Yeah, our guy was Benny Gardner, who's now the assistant coach at Penrith Panthers. He
was at the Roosters when
he pumped us in the under-20s, and it always served me well. I said to him, he was assistant coach for the New Zealand Māori. I think he's coach now, but a couple of years ago I seen him and I thanked him because he really set the foundation for me to train hard. And when I end up going on to first grade and playing elsewhere,
Benny was good.
Trainings were cruisy compared to what
they knew because Benny. Like Benny Gardner was there in 2008 with the Roosters and stuff like that. And that's when you knew you had to fucking train so hard. And he would have installed that because he would have seen all the other Ronnie Palmers and all the other great trainers like fucking pump you. Yeah. You had to train hard, man. Look how fucking fit you have to be to play this game. Be a triathlon.
Now
you're going to be a triathlete, built like a footballer, make decisions under fatigue, be able to cop these hits, and it's fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking demanding.
And you know how you recover? You recover with the passion fruit cheesecake mousse bar from BodyScience.
I would love one of those.
That's how you get back to it, mate. It's a delicious, guilt-free snack or dessert that is high in protein, low in carb and sugar with 3 grams of collagen per bar, naturally sweetened. BSC mousse bars are currently available in Woolworths, Chemist Warehouse, online at bodyscience.com.au and in independent supplement retailers. Sorry, we don't have them here. Mace already ate them in the last couple of episodes, but we're doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to our partners, BodyScience, for the support all year, and we're looking to film some content for them coming up.
And Greg, yes, we did win.
Really looking forward to it.
He's a mad Queensland fan.
All right, Mace, let's get into it. Origin 3 breakdown. We are going to go a couple of minutes on each player, kicking it off with New South Wales, obviously the winning team, kicking it off with the skipper, James Tedesco. Your thoughts on his game?
Fuck, I was so happy for Teddy. I think it was obviously his best game of the whole series. It sort of vindicated him, I reckon. You know, like This is the first time he's ever copped a bit of criticism about his form.
That's
and
true.
We should drop him. We should bring Dylan Edwards in. We should do Drinkwater, all this sort of shit. And he's like, no, I'm still that dude. I'm still him.
I think defensively he still was a little bit off. You think about the break where Val Holmes kicked across. I think he linked up with Murray Taulagi. Offensively, he's 10 times better. And that was because of a guy we're about to talk about in the number 6 jersey that really freed him up a little bit more and simplified his role. By the time he got the ball, he was in more open space and the quick little tip-ons worked well for him.
He ran hard. He just found those little gaps that he usually finds. Like he was getting through little offloads here and there. Like he got through a couple of line breaks. Like set a couple of that try for Bradman Best. I think he's just,
and he was, I don't know. In the start of the first half too, he was inches away from Jeremiah Nanai, who just got the ankle tap on him, who could have potentially had another try.
That's what I mean. He was fucking close to like a couple of clean line breaks, you know. So it was good for him, and that's the confidence he can bring back to the Roosters.
Yep,
and they can go on a bit of a run because you need Teddy, man.
Yep. You're happy enough with Teddy? Because I'm going to ask this with a couple of key people in this squad. It's game 3. A couple of these guys getting a little bit older. Teddy's the guy next year. He's the skipper. He's the fullback.
Well, he is at the moment because of this game. But it'll depend on how he performs next year from round 1 to 12.
Yep. So he's not a lock like he has been in previous years. I agree.
You know, he can't be.
Yeah.
Because we lost the series. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. We've lost the series, and as I said, like when we're reviewing it or previewing it, we're like, it's going to be a battle of wills, right? Like, do Queensland want to sweep us, or are we going to be fucking that proud like we were last night, and that level just 5%, a bit more?
Yep.
And that's all it takes.
James Tedesco for me was a 7 out of 10. Defensively, I think he missed a couple of assignments where they were not lucky, but they scrambled well to come back, help him out, which could have led to big moments. But offensively, a lot better. Just his will, that you never doubt that with James Tedesco. The one thing that I'm always going to be critical with, and this is always constructive criticism, right? Like we talked about in the last episode, these players are elite. Teddy's been the elite of the elite for a long time. I just think there could be a change in the guard coming at New South Wales. If not straight away, game 1 next year, if he is selected for game 1, geez, it's a big game for him, game 1, because at the end of the day, great performance, but they did lose the series. Brian To'o, number 2.
Fucking hell.
Outstanding.
He's been our best.
Yep.
He's been our best, like, in the back 5 easily, consistently hitting 200 metres. Like
25 carries, 247 metres. Both had 247 exactly, him and Teddy.
I'm like, what? How? He gets fitter and fitter. You know what I mean? As the game goes on, his runs are his first run and his last run exactly the same. He doesn't fatigue. I'm not sure how good he is in the tests. I don't think he's fucking outstanding. It just reminds you like of a Matty Utah. He just gets on the field, man.
Test as in a training.
Training tests, like beep tests, I don't think he'd be fucking winning. But then you get him on the field, match fit wise, and the amount of work that he gets through and just fucking finds his front all the time, got those sets off. Our back 5 was outstanding.
Yep. I had Brian To'o.
He's a lock for another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, Brian To'o, 8 out of 10. Obviously takes a lot of tough carries. I thought him and Critter defensively were outstanding. Great. So let's get into Stephen Crichton. Only the 6 carries for 49 metres, but defensively, some of the plays he made, just chopping plays down, wedging, making big decisions. Even, and I think this just sort of sums up New South Wales across the board, gets out from marker, plays, slaps down on Harry Grant, picks him up and throws him on the ground after. That's origin, and that's sort of the passion.
And that's what and this is what the questions that we're going to go like, right? Why wasn't that in game 2?
I think Stephen Crichton's been arguably one of the best for New South Wales all series.
Yeah, I'm not saying just that Steve Crichton moment, but I'm just saying like
for the Blues.
I'm like, where was that game 2? That's I don't get it. You know, like game 3. I mean, you know, you don't want to get swept, but like, where was that ferocity? Like, you know what I mean? Like the line speed that we went at him, we went at it. Like, we went after it. Like that's what your attitude should have been in game 2. I don't fucking get it.
Well, a couple of things. Obviously, you know better than anyone. No one wants to get swept, so you've got that energy. A lot of these guys have been bashed. Like we've been critical ourselves here, right? And through some of these plays on our podcast, and we're just a podcast that was like, we're growing, but you know the way that there's some of the players have been hammered in media over the last couple of weeks, they took it personally, and it was a great effort. Critter, you know, like not outstanding stats with the ball because
defensively he was the best.
Well, they were trying to lay the line on the right to set up the left all game, and it was working. So you just got to keep going to it. And the best thing about a team is if you sense a weakness and something's working for you, don't worry about get me some fucking ball so I can have a good game as well and I can
That's
fill
what
my
good teams
stats.
do, man.
You keep pumping the right and then you attack left because that's where it was humming. So credit to the entire right edge who just potentially just laid, not potentially, but they basically just laid the line down that right tram all night for the left. Getting to the left, Bradman Best, debut, outstanding.
He should go to Bali every year. Every year.
Oh, hasn't he come back from Bali on fire?
Mate, he just like, and I love that. Yeah. You know, he copped some shit. Like, we weren't critical of him going to Bali. I was critical of putting the shit on social media. Yeah. No one should have known that he went to Bali.
Yes.
No one. Like, you don't have to do that. And he's come back, he shut everyone up. He's an Origin. He's been on the radar. People think it was like a fucking stupid pick. I'm like, no. He's been on the radar for 2 or 3 years. He's just been injured. He's been a prodigy for fucking since he was 16. They've been waiting for him to arrive.
Yeah.
And it was just a matter of time. He's got it.
I got a couple of DMs last night about Bradman Best. And again, this is, you know, if you watch certain parts of the content and you don't watch it all, you don't know the context of it. When we started the episode last week when we were talking about Freddie naming his teams, we always said this is nothing against the players.
No.
It was Freddie's decisions that we were critical of because of players that have played in that position before, particularly Matt Burton. Bradman Best is 1 from 1 at Origin. He was outstanding. He was close to the man of the match for me. Yeah. He was 3 players that stand out for me: Bradman Best, Cody Walker, and Cam Murray. I couldn't split them, and I think Cody deserved man of the match. But all 3 were very close to me. So I got a couple of messages ripping into me about Bradman Best. My concerns and my criticism wasn't at Bradman Best, the player.
No.
It was Matt Burton was also 1 from 1 in left centre. Remember last year? His first game, Perth, they carved him. And his second game at left centre, they just got beaten by a Ben Hunt charge down in a decider.
Yep.
So my concern and my query around Bradman Best was why wasn't Matt Burton given an opportunity at any part in this series based off what he did last year?
100%, that's a
fair
fair
take. It was never
take.
a criticism against Bradman Best, the player. I thought I put Bradman Best in the same category as Tony Staggs, Campbell Graham, as that sort of next gen of players that needed to prove themselves and be more consistent at club level to put themselves in contention for Origin. But in saying that, he got his opportunity. Freddie gave it to him, and he set himself up well for next year with a performance like that.
He's a genuine left centre, left arm carry.
Those tip-ons were outstanding.
He's a fucking good play, man.
Going to run a couple of good lines.
Yeah, he's strong, man.
Yep, really good. 12 for 129, very good defensively as well. So really good game from Bradman Best, great debut. And the Fox benefited from it. I thought this is easily Fox's best game of the series. The chip and chase.
Bro. Like, you can't coach that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he gets in the clear. Like, that's fucking unbelievable. Proper blackfella footy. Just fucking straight through, chip and chase, regather. Like, I was so happy for Fox. He's been a little bit down, obviously getting beaten club level, been beaten Origin.
Well, a lot of people were tossed up.
People coming for him.
Yep.
And they'll still come for him next year.
Yep.
You know, like, but, you know, I was very happy for him. He fucking done some tough runs, like, regardless of that chip and chase. He was outstanding.
Yeah, I agree. I think
just his energy, man, I could feel it.
Well, he was really benefiting from having a guy like Bradman Best that was getting some, in particular Cody Walker, who got some really nice ball out of Bradman Best, and he had some nice soft hands. You got to remember, Damien Cook was his left centre for last game. Cookie's obviously a hooker, and he did a reasonable job trying to fill in as best he could.
They exploited it. Queensland did. Proper.
They rushed him.
Yep.
And Cookie made mistakes. But Bradman Best was genuine left centre, and he made the right decision 90% of the time.
I don't think people understand. Like, Cookie did it. He did a pretty good job. People don't understand from defending in the middle to going at left 2 or right. Yeah, left 2. That is one of the hardest positions to play. You're on an island. When you're in the middle, you've got guys pretty much a metre away from you. When it gets wider and wider, you're going against dudes like Val Holmes. Holmes is that dude.
He was on fire too.
Fuck, man. Like,
he got humbled last night.
Yeah, I know that, but like, fuck, like people don't understand how hard Cookie, like, he did a pretty good job.
Yep.
Considering he's a middle and a hooker. You know what I mean? So, like, You got to give him credit there.
His only blemishes really was when he's trying to get those quick tip-ons on.
And
that's it.
Yeah.
And he never does that at club level. No. It's always straight from the deck or get out and play. Yeah. He would never from dummy half just flick one on. So
ever.
You can understand why Josh Addo-Carr also had a drop in form in that game as well.
And defensively, it's just totally different. Like you're out there, you got a form. Like I understand because I'm at training and I know how these wingers and centres, they've got to be so connected.
Yes, they do.
So connected. And even to your 3-man, all the way from 4, 3, 2, 1, like from Cody. So who was our left 4? So Liam Martin, absolute dog.
Just
Cody Walker's good defensively, Bradman best. So that they solved all that. Because of Liam Martin's movements they're proper. And our middles move so good, put pressure on Munster, put pressure on DCE. They didn't give him an opportunity.
No, there wasn't.
Because of Liam Martin. Hence why we said start that motherfucker games.
Game 1, yeah. And that, look, we'll get to Freddie as well after this. We'll finish off with Freddie, but we'll go through both teams, both coaches. Cody Walker, outstanding. Little bit scrappy to begin with in the first, sort of couple of sets, especially when they got some good ball. Wasn't necessarily few drop balls. They looked a little bit nervous to begin with. But the thing I loved about Cody is he just kept on going after it. And as soon as he hit, it's like he didn't miss after that. It felt like every time they shifted to the left, they were either going to make a break or it was going to be a quick play of the ball. At worst, otherwise it was going to lead to a try.
What I liked was his composure, right? Like
he's got so much time.
He didn't get flustered.
He's got so much time.
Because the Queensland would have been going, let's just get under his skin. He'll go pear shaped. You know what I mean? That's the blueprint on Cody because it's happened in the last couple of years. Because Penrith's been getting under his skin. The Roosters have got under his skin.
Yep.
I think he's really humbled himself and he's going, fuck, I need for Souths to win, for New South Wales to win. I need to be that dude. I need to take more onus on my leadership and the way that I act.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think he's really taken that personal. And I think his footy's gone to another level.
Yeah,
so every time, no one, he didn't look flustered at all. He played the right plays all the time. Knew when to pass, knew when to dig in, knew when to kick, all those little things, man. So I was so proud of him. He's got a man of the match now.
Yep.
He got a man of the match in Origin. They're fucking hard to get.
It's last week you talked about it, right? Going into the game. He sort of hasn't had a proper Origin moment too. He's played, he'd played 6 games before that.
A couple off the bench, like here and there, but like.
Here's one for you. And I said, we'll talk about this after the game, me, Jimmy, and Moses and Bai. If I am Freddie or whoever's coaching New South Wales, based off that performance, and there were some really good performances, we'll get to them across the board, I'm telling you, he's almost a lock for me next year. When I start looking at the lineups and the lack of creativity they had in the first 2 games and it just unable to score points in crucial moments. Even the first game, they scored off like the kick, remember? Nath puts up the kick. I think it was Romy. Romy knocks it back. There wasn't anything really.
Liam Martin was the only one that scored that first game. That was a proper try, ran that really good line.
Yep. And then not much in game 2, obviously. And they looked like a threat the entire time Cody was out there. I know he's 33 years old.
Who cares?
But I think the question is not around who's the 6 next year. I think it's who's the 7. Getting to Mitchy Moses. Cody Walker was outstanding, 9 out of 10.
I'm happy for him.
Mitchy Moses, again, like I talked about with the humility of the right edge in Stephen Crichton, Kaloa Matangi, Brian Toto just doing the hard yards. I thought Mitchy was the same. Yeah. There are opportunities where probably looked like in years past, like a young Mitch Moses would have tried to come up with a big play. You want to throw the cutout ball because there was some – they were making some yards down that right edge and it was available because there was so much stress put on the opposite edge that I felt like they were trying to load up to more of that edge as they went on, but Mitchie didn't overcomplicate it. He still got the ball 2 hands, looked out, seen Steve Crichton, dummy, ripped in, got to a spot, and then it was wide pass to Cam Murray, bum, bang, bang. They get to the left edge. He played his role perfectly and kicked well as well.
Yep, kicked outstanding. Like he did his job, right?
Yeah.
Didn't exactly what you said. Didn't overplay his hand. Always played the right play, and he kicked us out of trouble. You know what I mean? He defended really well. Like that's all you want from your 7, especially when you got a fucking dynamite left side like that. You don't have to overplay everything, like you were saying. Like early ball to Kaloa Matangi, Crichton out the back, Teddy out the back. You know what I mean? Just get to your spot so we can open it back up, and they did that.
So here's another one. Like I said, do you agree that you think Cody will be the 6?
I think Cody will be the 6.
Has Mitch done enough? Because in game 2, he wasn't.
it would be neck and neck with Cleary.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at. Has he put enough pressure on with this performance?
No.
And close to New South Wales' best, albeit in a losing 30-6, I think, against Queensland in Game 2. Has Mitch done enough to put any genuine pressure on Nate?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleary's had his moments, right? And I think he benefits from the combinations at Penrith, right?
Yep.
And his combinations with Yo. He'll probably let Yo down Game 2 because he's used to the timing of Cleary. Moses ain't used to going out the back like that. You know what I mean? So if Yo's starting lock, which I don't think he will be next year, I'm thinking Moses. And if Moses comes out of the blocks like that, I'm not scared about picking Moses, right?
Okay.
Because I think he offers more in attack.
Okay.
He fucking goes at it. You know what I mean? Like Cleary is very methodical. He's just like the kicks are always perfect. His passing game's perfect. His defense is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think Moses is probably a little bit ahead of him in attack.
That's interesting. Well,
especially off Yo.
Yeah.
Especially off Yo. It's the timing off Yo. And
so you don't think Nathan could play with Cam in that style of footy and mix it up? I think
he could. Yeah, I think he could. But I'm just saying his combination with Yo is outstanding.
Yeah.
I still think Cleary will get the nod, right?
So do I.
I don't think, but Moses is going to be pushing him.
Yep.
Yeah, but as I said, we lost the series. We won this game, but we've lost the series.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's not get it all twisted.
And again, another person who hasn't had that proper, I'm the guy moment at Origin. Well, he did in Game 2 last year was Nath. Nath was outstanding, but he hasn't dominated series like the Munsters, like Tommy and Latrell in 2021. So I think it does open up the door, but for me,
Cleary. But I think Moses has he's getting better.
Yep.
Better every single year. And I think him winning that game last night, his confidence will grow to another level. And he'll be thinking, fuck, I belong out here.
Yeah, I agree.
Because his first game, he would have been, fuck.
Yep.
Second game, get beat. Haven't really arrived. Now he's dominated a game.
I seen him chirping. He was getting into Munster too last night.
A bit of confidence here and there, a bit of swag. It's all good when you're winning.
Yeah, yeah. Keep that energy when you're down.
Yeah, when you're down fucking 10-0 at Suncorp. Tell me how you're feeling then.
We'll tell you who will keep that energy. Front row, Jakey Travojevic, just rock solid, Jakey. He's just that guy. He's the Nate Miles, isn't he?
We just missed that. Look at his stats. I think it was fucking 10 hit-ups and all that sort of stuff. He don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
They're all tough. 10 hit-ups.
64 metres.
He don't give a fuck, mate.
Yeah. 19 post-contact.
And he earned every single metre.
Yeah,
and he
because
was
of the shittest carries.
And he always finds his front.
There you go. Here's a stat for you. I'm going through it as we go through. 10 carries for 64 metres. So they're the worst possible carries because he's always getting the shit ones that no one wants.
Pumped.
His play the ball was still 3.84 seconds compared to all the rest of the forwards around the 4 seconds.
That's great. People don't understand that 1 second is fucking
massive,
quick.
Massive.
That's Queensland retreating and having to coming off fucking straight away.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The difference between them getting set and then having to go straight back up.
You know what the difference is? When Cam Murray, I don't know if he wasn't necessarily the one before that ball, but when you see Tino Fasuamaleaui slip, when Cam Murray comes off his right foot and goes through, generally look at the guy that's played the ball before that because Tino's on the back foot. When you're getting dusted like that, it's because of the guy that's gone before you, not necessarily the guy, Cam Murray, who was outstanding. I thought Cookie was really good as well. And I guess, he's a guy that's always performed at Origin.
Killed it. Some of those tries he scored a couple of years ago when we were on fire. Yeah. Fucking hell. Individual efforts. He was carving. He's still our dude. I reckon he's still Appy and him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Robson's going to say he's going to have his
I think
put his hat in the ring. He'll put his hat in the ring.
I think you have to have Robson in the team moving forward based off his versatility to be able to play middles. With the other two, I think it's going to come down to Uppy and Cookie again.
Yeah, you're right, because I think Robson can go back to lock. And I reckon that little Mitch Kenny kid's going to be pushing for an Origin spot.
Yeah.
Because I reckon you can put him off the bench and he can play 9 and he can play lock and he bangs.
I would have... Yeah, I'm with you. So I'd have Kenny or Robson. So I think Robson's got the jump on him. And then I'd have Uppy or Cookie. And
that's it.
My
one of them's got to miss out because they're two genuine 9s. They don't play anywhere else. Even Uppy could probably possibly play lock. You know what I mean? But
all right, moving on to front row. Regan Campbell-Gillard.
Yeah, he did his job, man. He ran hard.
He ran hard.
Good. He ran hard.
I think that was the intent.
Just get out there, wind up, don't give a fuck who's in front of you.
He got bashed a couple of times
too.
He did,
but he's tough, mate. He's tough. Yeah, he went at Tino, like he took it personal.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that.
And he was talking some shit. I was watching him.
I fucking loved it.
I was watching body language in between some breaks sometimes, specifically when Harry Grant got penalised for that kick pressure on Richie Moses, went back and stuck up for his Parramatta's best mate in Richie Moses. And
good. That's what fucking that's what front rows should do. Yeah. Your halfback gets hit, you're the fucking first one in there. And I love that. And he went after it.
I think that's his greatest attribute at this level compared to the other 3 or 4 guys that have been in that position. So the Jakey doesn't talk, he's the nicest guy ever. He's just going to hit you and run as hard as you can into you, but he's never going to talk any shit. I think at Origin level, you really need a guy like this. Payne's not that guy either, and either is Junior. For as intimidating as Junior and Payne are, they're not really going to hit you and then tell you about it. They're so, and
respectful too.
Respectful and humble, whereas Regan brings that.
Fucking arsehole
Regan brings
Origin,
that cunt.
man.
He's got that cunt about him, so
Carrigan talks his shit. Like you see him yapping. Like Cotter.
Yep.
Like Tino says a little bit. They're all
like Murray doesn't say anything. Yo doesn't say anything. Like he's not going to be a chirper. The only other guy is Liam Martin, who's going to hit you and tell you about it. Really. So I think that's what Regan has over the other front rows that have sort of been there as part of the series over the past couple of years. So he brings that energy that Freddie will be looking for sure. I mentioned him just before. Liam Martin, outstanding again. Just look, 4 carries, 33 metres, but every decoy line that he ran was genuine for that left edge to therefore open it up for
Cody,
Bradman Best,
Teddy around the back, Fox. Exactly. I think he ran about 12 decoys.
And his defence was outstanding too.
That's why he's there. He's
42, 5 misses, 42 tackles.
Fuck. He's an animal. He should have started. I was like, fucking hell.
Is that like, again, we'll get to Freddie in a bit as well, but this is like, again, going back to the attacking stats, they're not stats that blow you away, but fuck, why was he on the bench?
He's not you'd have Campbell Gillard. I would have picked Campbell Gillard on the bench for those first couple of games.
Yeah, but like even with Regan Campbell Gillard's the front row, but like Liam Martin was on the bench as a come on in the back row.
No, he's not what I'm saying. Like if you're going to pick like
someone to bring
person
energy,
who can bring some energy.
Yeah, okay, got you.
Like you got a Campbell Gillard, he's 6'6", 120 kilos, and he's not scared of anything.
Yeah, but he'd done his groin going in the games 1 and 2.
But you just pick someone who is a genuine bench player, Spencer Laniu.
Yep.
You pick him. He's a genuine bench player.
Yep.
Energy. I would have picked him in front of Stefano.
Yep.
Because he brings leg speed. That's what you need in Origin. And
he's
got aggression. He talks shit.
Level.
He loves it. He's about that. He's a dog. Liam Martin's a starter. He's an 80-minute man.
Yep.
He's not that 45-minute guy who can blow a game out of the water. He needs to start.
Yeah, the guy who started and was outstanding, Keon Kaloa-Matangi. We mentioned him before, that right edge, 8 carries for 82 metres, but it felt like, looking at the stats, 33 post-contact metres, it felt like he had more than that. Every time he got the ball, if he wasn't...
He dented the line all the time.
He was denting the line and he was making it hard for them to put him to the deck, which, plays into that.
But the quick play the balls, right?
Yep.
That's what you get. Like with the back rolls, it's hard to make a clean line break in Origin. So when you get that ball, you just got to fucking fight, quick play the ball, and then you're on the next wave. That's when Cam Murray gets that ball, and then we can go at the back again.
How valuable are those quick play the balls?
Yeah, man.
At that level. And the momentum you can build off it.
And then you've got a guy like Cam Murray who can play off the top of that.
Yep.
He can either jam in behind the ruck or he can skip out, and you've got the lead guys in the middle of the field, and then you can go at the back and just play fucking eyes up footy. All off that one quick play the ball. That's all you're looking for. And that's what Liam Martin got, and that's what fucking Keon got.
Yeah.
That's all their job is. Just run those lines, man.
Keon was to run that line to set it.
Yeah.
And Liam Martin was to run that line as a decoy as hard as you could.
Because all you're trying to do is you're trying to get at the 3-man and in between the 4-man. 4 and 3, so you get that center.
Isolate chest.
Just trying to get the back row at markers, so you get a big guy going around that other side, so you get 4 and 6, and then it's up to your 7 and 6s to make the right choice.
Do you have enough class to get the job done?
Yeah.
Yep. Cam Murray, outstanding.
Yeah,
for me, it was tough. It was sort of between him and Cody for me. I thought not only what he did defensively, he was everything. He ran himself to a standstill. He got a bit of a break. Come on, he played right edge as well, I think, at one point. And just the service, even though the plays were out the back, at times similar to Zayo, he plays a lot more square and it was a lot earlier. Yeah. Therefore, it gave Cody more time to dig into the line himself, because my one concern with Yoey, and you're the same, is that when you dig so far into the line, Yoey, what Yowie was doing by the time he threw it out the back to Jerome, they gave enough time for Ches and Vel
fucking belting you. All the 3-man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like even like if they were playing it from a right side post and he was doing that, the C-man was coming up on the guy at the back because he was never looking like hitting the front guy at all. Where Cam Murray, he's got a bit of tempo to him, right? And he can get it wide, he can get it tight, and he can bounce out. And he changes his tempo a little bit, and he holds the ball, and he's got that nice little flick and the timing out the back. He doesn't dig in. That one step is fucking too far sometimes.
Yeah.
He knows exactly when, because he's looking at that. He's looking at that guy. I'm trying to get at you, and I'm looking at this guy. So if this guy is going, if he's tucking in, I'm going out the back.
Yeah.
If he's looking out, you're hitting the front guy. And that's what ball players, the great ball players do. It's a fucking art.
And the beauty of it, I talked about it before, about the 20, 25-minute mark, bang, come off the right foot on Tino and went straight through the middle.
Get you.
So as an edge, you can't lock in and go, all right, we've got shape coming no matter what. He had literally every part of the arsenal going, and he was more of a threat to the middles, who therefore couldn't help out the edges for Queensland, because I felt like it was just sit and slide for Queensland in the first couple of games.
And the thing is, he's got one of the quickest play the balls in the game. You know what I mean? So the worst case scenario, he digs in himself, he gets the 3-second play the ball. Then you get on the back of that. It's fucking amazing.
Isaiah Yeo come off the bench, lot simpler. He played his role perfectly, didn't he?
I thought he did. He dinted the line, just went not ball playing, just straight behind the ruck because he's got good leg speed.
He come on as a front row, I think.
Yeah, just simplified his role, and I thought that was his best game for Origin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to ball play all the time. He's a fucking big. He's 6'4". He's a big boy, and he's fit, and he tackles good. Like, he's got all the weapons. He doesn't have to. That was the game plan, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way he plays at Penrith, but like it's different. It's a different ball game in Origin.
He's a really good bench player for this level.
Yeah,
right?
man. I thought he was outstanding.
He's
very versatile as well.
Yes, to be able to come on play. Like, you remember, Yowie started in the centres, can play edge back row. He can play middle for Cam Murray, who can then push out on the edge. He gives him so much versatility.
Yeah. I think he'll be benched for a couple of years, I reckon.
Cam Murray's your lock moving forward?
Cam Murray's been a lock for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Yoey's just been playing at such a high level at club, and you know he's been playing okay at Origin, but I think it's time for a change. Cam Murray's our dude.
All right, Jacob Saifidi, limited time, limited minutes, but he was good. I thought he was good. He came on with the energy that you needed to provide for a guy that come on. At the end of the day, they won 24-10, so just on all the bench guys.
He ran hard.
He did.
He hit hard, he tackled hard, he did little things, kick pressure, all the little things that you want. When you get those limited minutes, they're all got to be quality.
Yeah, Jacob Saifidi. Let's all put these guys in the same. Saifidi and Robson, 25 minutes and 33 minutes respectively. They've got to come on, do a job for a short amount of time. I thought they did that. Robson, I thought they might have injected him on a little bit earlier, maybe just before the half, especially when they started to get some momentum. Because you remember in game one, they started to get some momentum back, and they kept, rather than bringing Nico on to give Uppy a spell,
they just kept Uppy on.
They kept Uppy on for the entire 80 minutes, and he sort of tired, and it potentially could have cost them right at the back end. I thought they were going to maybe learn from mistakes and get Robson on a little bit early, but when he come on, really stiffen him up. Gutho, 3 minutes.
Jesus.
Well,
Freddie did say he didn't have a plan.
We legit didn't have a plan because Gutho comes on 3 minutes for the Fox, who I guess got rested. We'll see what happens with the Fox moving forward.
But he's there for a safety thing. If an outside back
that's what
down,
Freddie did say.
And that's what he was there for. You got to go, well, you don't want that fucking, Tom Trbojevic or something like that moment again, and you only got Cookie or you got Robson. Yep. So, he had a few options there. Like, he could have, put Katoni there on the right side and Bradman, and then Crichton on the wing, or someone on the bench, all that kind of stuff. He had some things, but that was the plan.
Yep.
Not really a plan.
The plan was not the plan.
Yeah. So I was like, if an outside back got injured, he goes on.
Yeah, here we go. All right, now let's get into Freddie. At the end of the series, 24-10, he gets the job done. But, my concern still is with the Gutho one. It'd be filthy, would be Brad Arthur. They played the Warriors last week. Yeah, they got dusted. Warriors were probably too good regardless. But to see your skipper and your fullback and your leader sitting on the bench, who probably wouldn't have played a role if not for New South Wales blowing them out 24-10 with 3 minutes to go. It wasn't until the game was completely in doubt that he got on. Jeez, it would have been tougher. I know BA wants to see, and Gutho had a smile on his face the entire time, and he's not a clubman because it's state, but he's a team first guy.
Yeah.
There'll be a party as Parramatta fans watching that going, fuck, I would love to have our skipper last week.
Yeah, he's important. He's important to that team.
I
feel like as I said, Freddie didn't have a plan. The plan was if an outside back got injured, he goes on. That's it. And if not, he's probably just going to get those minutes.
Yep.
Fox, hope his hamstring's okay. That's Freddie, what they said, but like...
Freddie, where does he go after this? We're obviously very critical of the first, I was in particular, first couple of games. And what does his future look like for next year? You think Freddie's the coach when it's all said and done for next year?
Well, let's just look at it. We lost the series. You know, like last night, you know, we saved it. We saved from getting swept.
Yep.
And I expected that because it's very hard to sweep. You know, so New South Wales, the board and everyone, they've got a hard decision, man.
It will be.
You know, like it'll be hard for Freddie. Does Freddie want to keep coaching? Does he want to cop all this shit again?
Well, he hinted at it, right? I watched the post.
Mate, it must be taking its toll on Freddie, man. He'd be like, fuck this. I don't need this.
I feel, look, there's part of me that feels sorry for Freddie as well. It's a tough job because we said it before. Queensland team almost like, you know, Billy's done a great job. But when you looked at the Queensland team, it's almost like everyone sort of picked themselves. Yeah. Apart from the tough decisions right at the start with Kalen in particular and Gags. But from that point on, it's just been copy and paste. Who was 19th man, bring him in. Here's what Freddie's had to deal with. So they're winning the game against Queensland. Turbo goes off with 11 minutes to go. Then Turbo goes off 2 minutes into game 2. He hasn't had Latrell Mitchell for the entire series. Nathan Cleary hasn't injures his groin after game 1. He doesn't play a further 2 games. Arguably, they're 3 best players in the state.
Yep.
Payne Haas doesn't play in this game due to injury.
We had Jakey out for 2 games.
Jakey's missed the first 2 games. He's had some genuine excuses.
Yeah.
Does that come into
I think it does. It comes into play, but then you're just going to have to look at – you're going to have to talk to players. You know, like I've talked to some players. They reckon there's a disconnect within the camp, you know, like, and that's genuine. I'm not sure. Do you blow it up and just start again, or is it – we're 3-3 now, right?
Did you love that all the ex-players that have been part of the series were there? And
well, they always need to do that. They usually do that anyway. They fly everyone down for game 3, and regardless if it's a sweep or not.
Queensland did it as well.
Yeah, Queensland do it. I think everyone turned up, didn't they? Most of the boys.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was watching from us. So let us know if anyone didn't turn up. From what I've seen, they're all there though.
I
see Nico.
I reckon it's up to Freddie.
Whether he wants to do it.
Whether he wants to do it or not.
I agree.
Because I reckon he just goes, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore.
6 years?
Fucking 6 years is a long time, the coach.
3 out of 6?
3-3, like it's all right. You know, like I don't think he can do much more. So I don't think they're going to come out and sack him. I honestly don't.
Yep.
I think it'll be like a conversation like, Freddie, do you want to coach? I think Freddie goes, yeah, I do. Or he's like, no, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's up to Freddie if he's the coach again.
He looks really stressed. You know what I mean? Like it's only like 8 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
It's the fucking most highly stressed he's ever been.
Remember how like carefree and fun Freddie was like 4 or 5 years ago?
It's fucking taking its toll. Right now he looks a little bit more serious, and the fucking comments he can just tell in his interviews that he's just like, seems to me like he's over it.
All right, let's get into Queensland.
Yeah.
This one's going to be pretty rough for the Queenslanders. I thought AJ Brimson, straight off the bat, they really missed Reece Walsh. The limited opportunities, like you look at the stats across the board, like you mentioned for Queensland, 52% possession, time of possession 30 minutes compared to New South Wales 26, 81% completion rate to 77%, so 30 sets to 31. So they had enough chances.
You know what that means? Stats don't mean shit.
And they just missed the polish that New South Wales missed.
Execution, right? They executed so good in game 1 and 2, and we executed fucking great in game 3.
Yep.
When it didn't matter.
Well, the difference I think between the two teams in all 3 games was Reece Walsh's execution at pivotal moments in games 1 and 2. And look, this is not a massive knock on Bruno. This is just reality, right? And this is only 1 game. And he's played well in the 2020 series as well, in that 1 game that he played. Oh, he played a couple of games. But the difference was Reece Walsh in game 1 and 2, icing those plays, and Cody Walker in game 3 this time for New South Wales.
Reece Walsh, he is fucking dangerous. Do you know
His
what I
kick
mean?
returns.
When he's like around the ruck, if he runs even one off the ruck or if he's in dummy half or something like that, he's just dangerous because he steps off both feet and he's fucking strong. He's a powerful little shit, man.
Well, he's got the ball in two hands all the time too.
You don't know what he's going to
scheming.
do. So he gets those middles just standing like stuck in the mud a little bit, and then he can bounce out to your foreman, and then like he just plays whatever he sees. So that's dangerous, man. Well, AJ's like, he does that a little bit, but he's just nowhere near as dangerous as Reece Walsh.
Xavier Coates and Murray Taulagi, I thought Murray was the better of the two, but also...
Have a look at some of the stats. I think there was about 3 players that made 0 tackles for Queensland. Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Have a look.
Murray Taulagi, Xavier Coates and Brimo didn't make a tackle.
Not one tackle. That's fucking weird, eh?
That is weird.
Not one. Not even attempted.
No, yeah, that Murray didn't miss or make a tackle.
Or miss, yeah.
Coates had no tackles but missed 2, and Brimo missed 2.
I've never seen it before.
That was a big part of the back three who were outstandings in game 1 and 2, whether it be Cobbo or Coates and Murray Taulagi. Murray Taulagi still 160 metres off 12 carries, but he didn't have that fucking oomph that was in there in the first couple of games. And I guess this will summarise both teams as we go through it, but across the board, New South Wales were more desperate at pretty much every position.
Everything.
And Coates and Taulagi were outstanding in games 2, Taulagi game 1.
And the question will be, where was this in game 1 and 2? The desperation. I remember we were saying it when we were trying to get to game 2. Like we will be more desperate. Like I expected that game 2.
Yeah,
and like we got it in game 3. I'm like, fuck, you need the series is over. And Queensland, like, don't try and think like. Of course, they want to sweep. They want to sweep us down here. But like, it's just that battles of the wheels. It's a motivation. They've already got it. So subconsciously, they're going, "Who gives a shit? We've won the series." Like all they miss out on is beating us down here, sweeping and holding the fucking trophy up, rubbing it.
Sweep would be pretty cool, though.
Sweep would be mad, awesome. That's why it's so hard to sweep.
Yeah. Val Holmes and Hammer Say Tabuai Feeder. I thought Hammer in limited opportunities that got was still fucking silky.
He's classy, man.
What about that? Like, so obviously Fox comes up with that fucking silky try, and then Hammer, like 5 minutes later, just goes. It looks like he's gliding, doesn't he?
He's
like the skill,
powerful too, man.
He didn't catch it clean. He steps on the outside. Accelerates, drops it on the foot perfectly, sits up nicely. Brian Toto's just on his left shoulder, grabs it, smiles, hits him with that post-try celebration.
Crazy. He's quick at that too, isn't he?
He's so good, man.
But he puts the ball down like that and he's just straight up like that.
Yeah.
I rate him, man. If you're picking an Australian side now, he's probably forced his way in.
Yep, I agree. I think he's either at least on the wing, if not in the centre. So just say if you got a fully fit Latrell Mitchell, we had Val in the team with Latrell potentially in the centres.
But if you're going off right now,
I think Hammerstone would have to push Murray Taulagi or who do we say, Brian Toto for a wing spot.
We'll just say if we're picking right now, Latrell's not available. He's in the centres.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think even if Latrell comes back, you put him on the wing because he's silky.
He's that dude, man.
Cam Munster, Daly Chair Evans, same thing.
I don't know. It was hard with those halves. They did their job. They didn't play bad.
They were asking some questions early, and it looked like they were really trying. I thought they both looked like they were struggling to get and have an impact in the game, and they really were missing Walshy. Like they were throwing those plays out the back that were nice and early to Walshy.
Brimo plays a different style, man.
Yeah, he's more of a support player.
Yeah, he's a support through the ruck. He's not the guy who can start behind the ruck and all of a sudden he's outside your 3-man. Yeah. Like that's what Reece Walsh does. And like Cam Munster's good at that. So is DCE at hitting those guys out the back and seeing Reece Walsh come from nowhere, hit him, fucking burns you, creates so many things Reece Walsh does, man. They really missed him.
Yeah, the tempo to be out the back and then go
Looked
again.
like it was very easy to defend Queensland last night.
18 carries and 136 metres. He was going after it, but he looked very frustrated. Munster.
Had no option. Yeah, that's New South Wales defence.
Correct.
We hustled. We went after it. The line speed, the middles were fucking going after it. You know, and you put pressure on 6. You can't let Munster and fucking DCE dictate. If you do let that happen, look what happens.
Even
you
just
get
with
beat.
the kick pressure on Ches was a lot better from New South Wales across the board as well.
Little things, man.
And it started all the way from the first set when they put pressure on him. The Queensland kick chase was offside, and it led to just a really undisciplined Queensland performance.
Yeah.
And one of those was Harry Grant, the 9. He had a couple of penalties, the kick chase, the kick to pressure on Mitch Moses that led to a penalty. Just like, all these, most of the Queensland players just miss moments again, Harry. So I think in particular the spine for Queensland will look back on this game and be really disappointed because, like we said, you don't get many opportunities to have a clean sweep for Queensland or New South Wales. And this is a game, I know they're all competitive guys. They had the Series 1, but all 4, including Brimo, would have loved to have get a sweep. So they'll be disappointed with their performances for sure.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Two of the best, I thought, were the front rowers though, Ruben Cotter and Tino Fa'asuamaleaui.
Fucking hell. Ruben Cotter's, I reckon he's top 3 best forward in the game, in the world. He's a Swiss Army knife.
So
Anywhere in the pack.
Ruben Cotter, right now, one of the best forwards in the game. Paddy Carrigan's, I reckon, right up there. Cam Murray's been doing it for a long time. Then you got Payne, you got Tino.
We've got some good forwards though.
Got some good forwards in the game, don't we?
And he's fucking up there.
Well deserved too.
And he's up there.
Wally Lewis medal winner, well deserved.
Yeah, 100%.
You caught it as well.
Yeah,
Ruben, you caught both. So you had New South Wales 13 plus.
Mystic Mace.
Mystic Mace. Ruben Cotter, Wally Lewis medal. So congratulations if you got on. Mace was on fire. Who was your try scorer again? Toto.
Was it Toto as well?
Yeah.
He scored, didn't he?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, Bradman Best, Fox. Who's the one that scored? So when Teddy made the break down the left, Bradman Best twice.
Did he get 2?
Did he get 2?
I thought, yeah.
Where is it?
Tino has been outstanding, man.
Yeah, Bradman Best twice. Yeah, scored off the double shape.
Yeah,
look long, play short, bang, hits Bradman Best, and then when Teddy broke through, he found Bradman Best through the middle. Yeah, so back to the
front rowers, man.
The front rowers.
Tino,
yeah.
like who's the best prop in the game right now? Give me 3 of them. I know who you're going to talk about.
Who?
I reckon you got Adden, Tino, and Payne.
Yep.
They're the 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Ruben Cotter is, but he's fucking there.
Yeah. I sort of put, he's so versatile. Cotter, when they took David Fafita off pretty early in the game.
And Billy said he looked a little bit fatigued.
Yeah, and then put Ruben Cotter to the edge. So you're right, man. I think Tino across the board with all the things that he can add, because he's even got probably a little bit more skill.
He has.
Not than Adden. Adden's got probably softer hands.
But he hits, his defense is probably the best out of Payne and Adden because he fucking pumps you.
I agree.
He's got great tackle tech. He's got a little bit of a tip. He's got an offload. He's got footwork. He plays big minutes. He's got everything.
Yeah, leadership.
Yeah, leadership skills. Won a premiership. He's won 2, been part of 2 Origin wins. He's a captain of his side already.
He was in the 2020 team.
Oh, shit. Fucking hell.
He's won 3 series.
Already for a young kid.
Just like a lot of these players, David Fafita, Jeremiah Nanai, pretty quiet. They were trying to get Jeremiah a little bit more into the game. I know David Fafita scored the first try off scraps, but they were trying to get Jeremiah into the game with even kicking to him a little bit. But it just didn't quite come off.
Going at him. That's why he shut everything down on that on their right side. Got shut down because of Liam Martin.
Yeah, I agree.
And the amount of work that Jakey was doing in the middle, the line speed, cutting up
from the inside.
Everything from the inside. That's what annoys ball players, man. That's why you can take Munster and DC out of the game like that.
Jeremiah
inside pressure.
Jeremiah
you can take Nanai out of the game.
Yeah, if it's not for the kicks that he's chasing, his best work is when he skips out, bang, off the right foot, comes back on the inside, and Liam Martin was just cutting it.
Always. He stays straight the whole time. Because that's what he wants you. He comes out, he wants you to go sideways a little bit. Liam Martin comes straight off the line, puts him on one shoulder, he tracks his inside hip, bang, done. And it annoys ball players like that. So then he'll fucking look at offloading and passing and, running a different line, running more direct, and that's Liam Martin's defence.
Yep, underwhelming again for the Queensland back rowers. Who wasn't underwhelming, I thought, again, it just felt like every time I looked up and they were either coming out of yardage or someone needed a tough carry.
Tough carry.
Paddy Tough Carrigan. He's a weapon, man.
Yeah, he's the best lock in the game.
Yeah.
If you pick an Australian team right now, it's him and Cam Murray.
I think it's him.
Yeah, I think Cam Murray's on the bench.
Yeah. I think as good as Cam Murray's been for South, and in this game, he was outstanding. Close to my player of the match, Cam Murray. Paddy Carrigan is the best lock in the game.
Easy. No, not easy, but like he ticks all the boxes, right?
Yeah.
He's got the ball playing skills, and he can just tough it out as well, and he can bang. He's got good leadership.
Put shots on Regan.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like he's about that, and he's only young as well. Like I love the growth of young Paddy Carrigan. Because when he hit the scene, they gave him the captaincy straight away, and I was a bit off him. I'm like, you didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like you got to earn that shit, and it's not his fault.
Yeah,
it's the coach's fault.
You can see why. Though,
you can see why. You can see why. As soon as they took it off him and gave it to someone else, he could just concentrate on being Paddy Carrigan, the player. He's fucking gone like that.
Yeah. It helped, obviously, Adam Reynolds come to the club. I think they took it back off him and gave it to Lexi in his last year, Alex Glenn.
Yeah. He just didn't,
Because he also did his ACL and missed a season too, remember?
Because I remember I was in Gundawindi. I think he's from Gundy, right? And I was playing golf with these blokes, and he was, what do you think of Carrigan? I think it was about 2020 or something like that. I don't know, a bit before. I said, no, not much.
Yeah.
I said they shouldn't have given him the captaincy. And they're like, fuck, he's a good player. And I was like, I haven't seen it, mate. I'm like,
well, you hadn't seen it all the way until before last year.
I haven't seen him. No, he's arrived last year, and I was like, holy shit, he's that dude.
You didn't think he had 100 metres in him last year.
Yeah, I know.
Look at him.
I got to wear his fucking jersey. So nothing but respect for Carrigan. No, I think he's a top 5 forward in the world.
Yeah,
easily.
I think out of all the players in the starting 13, Ruben Cotter, Tino Fasul-Malawi, and Paddy Carrigan can hold their head high. Yeah, they were outstanding for.
It's hard to get back rows when the front rows aren't really going that
Correct.
well, and they're shutting a lot of the plays down. It's hard for the back rows to get involved.
Actually, also I thought was good off the bench, and both these guys, Lindsay Collins and Fodawaker, they had a bit of an impact when they come on compared to which I thought could have been a strength for Queensland. But credit to Queensland, I thought these two were good coming off the bench, but they still found a way.
Yeah. How many minutes they play? 40? 30?
39 for Lindsay Collins, 25 for Fodawaker, and 21 just for the horse, bruh.
The horse, bro. I was happy for him when he got on. He just fucking goes hard, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What was his stats? His stats wouldn't have blown anyone out of the
21
water,
minutes, 5 carries, 40 metres.
Still, 5 carries in 20 minutes. He's getting after it. Mo Fodawaker, he's a fucking gun.
He's a weapon, eh?
Yeah. He's like the Leotas and the Fodawakers, they're the ones that you want. Yeah. The Spencer Lienus, like the guys who play really big minutes, good leg speed,
Nuggety.
really fucking aggressive. Get
Defensively,
quick play the
really
balls, got a good skill set, can pass. They're the modern day props.
Yep.
You're going to get your Tinos and you're going to get your Payne Haas's who are fucking genetic freaks. But then you're looking at the Leotas, Fisher Harris's, that sort of build, 6'2", about 110 kilo, really good ball playing skill set, and can go after it and play big minutes. They're the guys that you want.
Yeah, for sure. It's a real luxury to have a nuggety,
fucking hard, man.
Hard running, and especially if like defensively and his minutes have got up, really like the quality of his efforts. This year in particular, he's been an Origin player before, but this year his quality and what he brings when he
last year he got fucking dropped.
Yeah,
like he wasn't even in the 17th.
He wouldn't even be considered.
But he wasn't so that woke him up, and I love it. I love that.
What about Hunty? I thought there were some moments where Hunty come on and he was okay, but they just didn't capitalise on it.
It's hard for him to come on, like with Harry Grant and not really dominating the ruck. And what do you expect Ben Hunt to do?
Yeah. Ask him. So I talked about a couple of the New South Wales ones. Let's break down a couple of Queensland players. DCE, Benny Hunt, right on that period now. 33.
Yeah.
They've won the series, obviously.
What do you do?
Do you think it really matters the way they start the season next year, despite what they've done for the last couple of years?
We look at Queensland pick and stick, right?
Yeah.
Those two guys.
But players do get older.
But who's going to take that position?
Yeah.
Like DCE.
Tommy Dearden?
I don't know. He's got to be like fucking having a Dally M season.
I'm obviously picking chairs. I'm super biased. I'm just asking you probably more of a neutral.
I'm just going for DCE because he was easily a top 5 player in that whole series. Yep. Easily. He's in the top 5. If he had got man of the match last night, he probably nearly would have got the Wally Lewis medal.
I agree.
Munster, Ben Hunt, like those guys, you just got to keep around.
Yeah.
Ben Hunt is still that dude.
Yep.
But it just depends on Harry Grant, whether he starts, you know what I mean? Like they usually start with Ben Hunt, right?
They do. Yeah, this is the first game, I believe, from memory in the last 2 series with Billy. He started Hunty every time he brought Harry off the bench.
It was weird. Because Harry really changes the tempo of the game. Ben Hunt steadies the ship.
Yep.
Kicks well, passes well, makes his tackles, and then, Grant comes on and fucking speeds the ruck up. So it was a bit of a weird tactic.
Speaking of tactics, how quickly does Ben Ikin want to get Billy signed up and on for next year?
Oh my God. Fuck, you'd be signing him on a 5-year deal, wouldn't you?
I don't think Billy wants to sign a
Do you reckon he's going to go one, like maybe a 2-year deal?
Do you think Billy has ambitions to coach first grade? Because that's the only thing I think that would hold him back from coaching New Queensland for an extended period of time.
I think
and I don't think money matters at all to Billy, right? So I don't think you can throw him a crazy amount of money to get him to lock in as Queensland coach for the next 3 years.
This is what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to have a conversation with the great Craig Bellamy and go, how long are you going to coach for? That'll depend on how long he's going to coach Queensland for.
Yeah, okay.
So I reckon if he goes, I'm going to do 3 more years, I think Bill will do 3, and then he'll go straight in the Melbourne job.
Well, Bellamy
if he wants to.
But my thing with Bellamy is he's made his decision every year for the last 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
But I mean, they've got a great relationship, right? Yeah. And you go, Belly, how long? Genuinely. Is it 2? Is it 3? Because I want the job. But who knows if he wants the job? He's had his job if he wants it for sure. He's just won 2 Origins in a row.
It's his job if he wants it for sure. All right, that's a little brief breakdown. We'll go back and watch the game. If there's anything else we think we need to address, we'll address it next week. But let's get on to NRL Round 20 preview. Remember, these odds are accurate as of the 13th of July at 7 a.m. from our friends, our partners at the Tab. Kicking it off with Newcastle versus West Tigers. Knights are heavy favourites, $1.29 against the Tigers, who are $3.60, and the line is 10.5, mate. So got some late mail for you as well. Knights centre Dane Gagai will return from a foot injury, while Bradman Best and Jacob Saifidi are both good chances of backing up despite limited turnaround time from Origin 3. Hummel Hunt is listed amongst the reserves just in case. And could be in line for Best if they decide to rest him. West Tigers, however, Uppy Carousel will return from a broken jaw with a big boost for the side. Alex Twell is also back from suspension. Brent Naden's shoulder and Dane Laurie quad are both named amongst the reserves but aren't expected to feature, with Will Smith remaining at 5'8" and Tommy Talau, who's really good against the Sharks in the centres. How do you see this game going, Mace?
I see it going Newcastle's way.
So do
quite easily. I think having Bradman Best, Jacob Saifidi, KP playing at his best. Those guys coming off a massive win against us. They could make a fucking late charge, I think. They've got the team.
You remember before game 1, Origin really kicked on the Cowboys?
Yeah.
You think of Jeremiah Nanai, Murray Talangi, Val Holmes, who were in okay form, but they just really have performed really well after that. I think the confidence now that Bradman Best and the Jacob Saifidis can bring back to Newcastle, plus the decision again, which Callan made to forego playing Origin and concentrate on Newcastle. They're going to be a tricky team, Newcastle. I think
they'll be hard to beat.
They come off a really good performance against you guys, had the bye. Now these boys get the confidence. Watch out for the Newcastle Knights moving forward. Moving on to your Dogs. Mace, you play the Broncos.
At Belmore.
At Belmore, which will be a big occasion. Josh Reynolds will be playing his last ever game at Belmore in New South Wales Cup before that. The Bulldogs are $3 underdogs. Brisbane Broncos, $1.40. Favourites from our friends at the Tab. The line is plus 7.5. Mace. The Bulldogs flyer Josh Adokar is in doubt after he was replaced by Gutho for the hamstring late in that game. If ruled out, he'll likely be replaced by either Alamotti with Jacob Carraz or Braden Birds going from centre to wing.
Blake Wilson, maybe.
Or you got Blake Wilson. I think he's already in the team. Yep, he's already in the team. He's already in there.
So him and Carraz will be on the wing.
Yeah, you've got Blake Wilson and Fox on the wings, Carraz and Burns in the centre. So potentially Alamotti comes back in, moves Carraz back to the wing. For the Broncos, Kurt Capewell is finally returning after missing a couple of games with a quad injury. And Patrick Carrigan only played 55 minutes in game 3, so he is backed up in both games. You think
Payne Haas is out?
Payne's still out.
Flegler's out.
Jersey Flegler's still out. And Paddy Carrigan is named in the extend.
I'm back in the Dogs.
Yeah, so am I.
So am I.
I like the plus 7.5 for sure. I think you're getting money for that too. They're $1.25.
It's at Belmore. We're fucking
Belmore. Still a lot of outs for Brisbane. Still, don't get me wrong, really good team. We still got, I believe we still have no Reece Walsh. Yeah, Tristan Saylor at fullback.
Yeah, exactly. No Reece Walsh.
Still no Reece Walsh at fullback. So Tristan Saylor has been doing a fine job replacing him, but he's no Reece Walsh. Still no Jersey Flag guy. Paddy Carrigan, I wouldn't be surprised if they rest Paddy in this game. He's backed up after both Origins 1 and 2.
They're in a position to do that.
They are. I think they wouldn't be thinking, all right, we can afford to drop one, but I think you just really
I hope they don't play because that's disrespectful to the Bulldogs and they can fucking put that on the bulletin board material and go at it.
Yeah, you can always find reasons.
I think maybe Kicks is back this week as well.
Ooh.
Maybe.
No, he's not, because he's not in the extended squad.
Okay, he's not. Who knows? So you have to be in that 21 to be no, okay. So
yeah, cut it out.
Yeah,
we won't put that
because he told me he was going to play against Brisbane. But so it's been about 13, 14 weeks.
All right, let's move on to our team. The Manly Seagulls are at home, 4 Pines to North Queensland. Manly are $2.30 underdogs at home, 4 Pines. Cowboys are on fire at the moment, $1.62, and I think deserved favourites. The line is plus 3.5, so the Tab are really struggling to figure this game out as well. They may skipper Daly Cherry Evans and star forward Jakey Trbojevic will be monitored after Origin 3. Jakey Arthur is in the extended squad, so dare say he'll fill in for Ches if he misses out, while Josh Alawai could come into the starting lineup if Jakey misses. A new face on the bench with 25-year-old Dean Madison, who is Ryan Madison's younger brother, in place of Ben Trbojevic, who suffered another hamstring strain at training. Geez, those Trbojevic brothers can't catch a break at the moment, specifically Benny and Tommy. As for the Cowboys, Maroons trio, Val, Murray Taulagi and Jeremiah Nanai have been named to back up, with Kyle Felt a likely inclusion should either of the backline miss out. Jason Tomala has been named on the bench but could swap on game day with Ruben Cotter after he won the Wally Lewis medal. It's still a formidable lineup for the Cowboys, and they've got some real good depth at the moment too, don't they, at the moment, Mace?
Yeah, this is a must-win game for both. I'm looking at the ladder here. I think they're on similar points, right?
I think they're 9th and 10th, mate.
Yeah, like 20. Like the Eagles on 21, Cowboys on 22.
Yep.
So this is
massive.
This is a massive game for both clubs. I think Cowboys will get them. I think they're just going. They're on a bit of a run here. I think I just doubt fucking Manly sometimes, you know, especially with Tom not there. They just lack that real X factor. DCE can only do so much. Their forwards are quite predictable. You know, like Ola Kuatu on the bench. I mean, on the right there, he needs more ball. More ball, early ball to him. He's destructive as hell. So I think Cowboys will get this done. So be hard. It's that rookie, so fuck.
Yep, 4 points. All right, moving on to the last game of Super Saturday. Oh, Matt Lodge. Yeah, he's a late inclusion. Matt Lodge has gone over. How do you see that signing?
I think it's a good signing. He's just been he's got the talent. You know
Is it not a concern? Look, again, I've met Lodgy. He's always been all right. To me, he's been respectful in the things that when I've met him. Are you not concerned now? This is like 2 or 3 clubs where he's leaving halfway
massively.
through.
Yeah, like he's obviously, you know, not getting the job done on the field, right? So that's the main thing. And
the last time we sent him for the Roosters, he was awful in that game.
But he doesn't look fit.
Last year, at the back end of last year, he was almost the reason that Roosters went on the run, that front row rotation.
I just think he needs to get his fitness back. You know, maybe he just didn't fit the way that the Roosters were playing. They've been pretty awful this year. And he's been injured. He's been in and out of first grade all year, so he hasn't really found any consistency. Hopefully he can just find consistency and get some real good game time. So he can play. It's just like this is worrying, but 3 teams in 3 years.
Well, speaking of one of those teams, the Roosters play the Storm. The Roosters are $2.45 underdogs also at home on Saturday night against the Melbourne Storm, who are $1.55. The line is plus 4.5 from the tab. So the Roosters get a whole heap of talent back for this one, with Brendan Smith good to go after a stint in New South Wales Cup last week. Jake Turpin, Egan Butcher, Billy Smith and Joseph Akuso Suali'i are all good to go after suffering head knocks in the past fortnight. Suali'i and Billy Smith against each other at training. James Tedesco and Lindsay Collins are set to back up from Origin 3. They must back up. They're not afforded
for the Roosters,
the luxury of the Broncos, so they have to play. As for the Storm, after serving his mandatory stand down through the bye week, Will Warbrick has been named to return after picking up a head knock in round 18. Maroon Stars Harry Grant, Xavier Coates and Cameron Munster have been named, but that is to be monitored in this game. Can Roosters cause an upset in this one?
No,
I
don't think so. Okay. No, I honestly don't. I wish they could. They need to win this game, but I think Melbourne's on a bit of a tear, I reckon.
They dropped the one in their last game.
Yeah, but
recently?
I just think
who did they?
Now the Origin's over. All right, Origin's over. Harry Grant, Munster, you got everyone back. Xavier Coates. They just lost the last Origin, so they come back. Those players always come back. They always come back, and they're always the best players.
Yeah, okay.
So that's dangerous for the Roosters, and the Roosters have got players backing up as well.
Yep, that's true.
You know what I mean? So
I think
Melbourne.
I just think the desperation. I'm going to go to the Roosters.
Okay.
I think they need to win.
They do.
It's a must win.
They're on 20 points. So if They need this.
All right, 3 games on Sunday, kicking it off with the Wars at home, the Warriors versus Cronulla. And Cronulla will be looking for some redemption from this game for sure. Warriors at $1.95 underdogs to the Cronulla Sharks $1.85, who are in some red-hot form at the moment, putting on big scores against both the Tigers and the Dragons. But this is a different Warriors team, Mace.
100%.
The Warriors underdogs plus 1.5 at home. How do you see this game going?
I'm going Cronulla. I just like the way they're playing.
Okay.
I like the way they're playing. Even though the Warriors, I've been trusting them in the last month, I still think it's going to be a great game. They're not going to get flogged or anything like that, but I think Cronulla's playing a really good brand of football. And they'll be looking at this game. They need to knock them off. They need to stay in touch with the top 4. And this will be a bit of a statement game. Like, hey,
for either team, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I just think Cronulla will get them.
Yep. We're going against each other again. I'm on the Warriors with all eyes on Sean Johnson. Still expecting his second bub this week. So if he misses out, you've got Ronald Volkman in the extended squad. Dylan Walker has been named despite suffering an arm injury against the Rabbitohs, but he's tipped to take his place on the bench. As for Cronulla, we'll travel to New Zealand on Saturday and expected to be as per program. Braden Hamlin-Uele has been named among the reserves and could be a chance of returning, but is more
the Dolph
more
playing?
of a chance next week. The Dolph is starting front rower. Yep.
I
think if they've named him and they've taken him in the extended squad, I think Braden Hamlin-Uele will play.
Big boy.
This is going to be a fucking really good game, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I'm looking forward to this game.
Yeah.
Best game of the round for sure.
100.
Very hard to pick. Cronulla, Warriors. All right, this game's a little bit easier. The Dolphins are at home to the Penrith Panthers, and they are just humming. Mudders Lee, a.k.a. Branko, is listed amongst the reserves as he needs to return from an ankle injury, but is expected to feature.
It's just the Mudders Dolphins. That's what it is.
The Mudders Dolphins, the Wayne's Mudders Dolphins. Felice Kaufusi returns to the second row and will play. Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow is named to back up from Origin, but in the centres with Cody Nikorima retaining the fullback spot. Panthers, Nathan Cleary has been named amongst the reserves as he closes in a return. As for the Blues reps, Isaiah Yeo, Liam Martin, Stephen Crichton and Brian Tyler are all set to back up after Origin 3, while Scott Sorensen is also named to play. Zach Hoskins would likely come in if Sorensen is ruled out because he has a slight neck injury. Panthers by a bit.
Yeah, fair bit.
Dolphins
will be good. They'll be good.
The Tab have got the line at minus 15.5. Do you think the Dolphins can keep it competitive?
Yes, I do. And it's going to be it's at Redcliffe. Is it? No.
Yep, it is.
Is it Redcliffe?
It's Suncorp, I think.
Suncorp, all right.
Let me get that confirmed.
Penrith will be good. Man, Penrith will be good. Dolphins, they've got a lot of pride there. They got a win last week.
Why don't
they grind. You know what I mean? It'll be a gritty game.
The grind. Oh, no, it's at KO Stadium, so it's at the Redcliffe one.
It's at that's what I thought. So I think you'll see a different energy, right? There'll be 20,000 there, 25,000, I reckon.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, packed stadium you got the back-to-back champs coming up. Yeah. Nathan Cleary a chance to play, and they'll be impressed by the Dolphins' performance.
Fuck, no, why would you put him in the extended squad? But just to travel and just maybe get through the ball sessions and all that kind of stuff. Travel with the team.
I reckon he must be doing ball work now. He must 100%. Be doing the post sessions, but they've got to think long term, and if he's even 99%, I'm not playing him
back. No,
he only plays if he's 100 for me. I think Penrith win, and I think they cover. I'm going
cover the 15.
I think they cover the 15. I think they go over.
Yeah, they could.
Moving on to the last game. This is a very intriguing game as well. Parramatta versus the Gold Coast Titans with Captain Clint Gufson expected back up. He'll be pretty sore after his 3 minutes in Origin.
So sore. He'll be as sore as Cam Murray, I reckon.
So Sean Russell will move back.
He's in the ice bath as we speak. He's been there since last night. He's fucked.
He's just stayed at a core stadium.
Double Normatex on his legs.
He's got both Corys. He's got Corey Normatex on both legs. And after making a successful return from injury last week, Sean Lane will start in the back row. Andrew Davey moves back to the bench. As for the Titans, Tino Fasuamalawi, Mo Fotuaika and David Fafita have been named to back up from Origin 3, as has fullback AJ Brimson, all big outs last week, pushing JC, Jaden Campbell, back to the bench. Fafita will be assessed as he continues to battle a hip pointer, which might have contributed to him only playing 33 minutes on Wednesday night. Parramatta versus Titans, Mace, where are you going?
Titans.
You going Titans?
Yeah, Titans.
Ooh.
I reckon they'll get it. I think there's a whole new culture up there now, new coach. They've got rid of that whole mentality of like starting off well and then just losing the back end. I think just having those Origin players back, AJ, Tino, Mo. I don't know. They're going to get it.
I think I'm going to flip you Parramatta. I know you hate Parramatta as well.
That's why.
Look at their bench. Jaden Campbell, fullback. Chris Randall, hooker. Aaron Clark, hooker. Jojo Fafita.
Fuck. Is that their bench?
Wing, centre. They've got no forwards on the bench.
None.
Aaron Clark is the closest thing to a manufactured 13. All right, now let's go to their reserves. So you'd like to think Isaac Fasua-Malaawi is probably going to play, but even you got Keno Kinney, fullback, Cruz Leeming, hooker, Ken Mamalo, winger.
Fuck.
I don't know who Tony Francis is, and you've got Thomas McCallie, again, who's the front row. So very light bench.
Fuck, at least have one middle on there.
And look at the bench for Parramatta.
We expected Tino to play fucking 80. And Mo.
And Fafita.
I don't think Fafita's going to play.
Yeah, so
that might sway me, but it won't.
All right.
I just think the Gold Coast, they need to win. They're on 20 points. Parramatta's on 22. They need to get even with this fucking top 8.
All right, let's get into it to finish off the show. Our Levels Punters Club Bets Friends channel special. This week, Mace, I'm rolling with you. You're wearing the blue. I'm on the Bulldogs, plus 7.5.
Woo.
I think they're great odds against a team like the Broncos who are missing a few people. And I think he was disappointing to his own standards in Origin 3, but I'm going Jeremiah Nanai to score in the first 30 minutes for the Queensland Cowboys against the Manly Seagulls. So you can get the beautiful odds. Actually, I've got them updated here of $8 for that from our traders at the tab with a max bet of $25. And as always, we want everyone to be playing safe during this footy season, so please keep front of mind what are you really gambling with. And if you need free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. You can find all our current LPC bets under the Bets Friends channel banner on the Tab app, including this week, my anytime try scorers. So, shortened show for us this week, but I'm going to be adding an anytime try scorer in the LPC this week, so make sure you pay attention. Go on the app. Mace, enjoy your weekend.
All right,
go the Bulldogs, plus 7.5. Lukey, enjoy your weekend. Go Parramatta. And
happy punting, boys.
Go Jeremiah. No.